Hey, welcome back. This is Battle of the Prospectors, day number 2, race day. Format's a bit different here. Everyone waits till the number's called. There goes Lance, getting ready for his race. And your number's called based on how you did in day number 1, the qualifier. As you can see, I'm headed towards the back of the pack. There goes Patrick. Now it's going to be my turn. Alright, day number 1's in the bag, and this is day number 2. So day number 1 was the qualifier, and it was a standard hare scramble start. You line up in class and you all go at the same time. For day number 2, the actual race day, it's individual starts and it's based on how you did overall. So you finished number 1 overall, you start number 1. Now, I didn't do that great on day number 1.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
As it wasn't that bad, because what they did was they took the pro and the experts and they staggered them 1 through whatever, and then they took the next group of us, which were all the sort of 40Bs and everyone else, and they staggered us 1 through whatever. So there was actually 2 groups starting at individual staggered starts with 10-second intervals. We're into racing now, and this is the first obstacle. Not terrible, getting a little chewed up and a little bit of congestion, and that's a bit of a foreshadowing for what's to come. The challenge here is to keep moving but also exercise a bit of patience, because for me, this race became about trying to preserve a bit of energy and not necessarily trying to charge for the entire 2+ hours. There is also other strategies at play, and one of them that I try and employ is always keep moving. And that's not easy, especially when you're getting really fatigued and you're making more mistakes, because then it becomes a cascade effect, and you're probably better off just to stop, pause for a second, drink some water, shake out the hands, and then go again. And in a little bit, that strategy is going to be reinforced for me because I kind of ignore it. Stand by for that. Talon, Magdalia, and the smaller wheels and that smaller engine that doesn't have the grunt of the bigger bikes did get captured on some of the obstacles. That didn't slow Talon down much at all. He's there, and then in a second he's gone. His dad was actually in this race as well, Tyler, and day 1 in the qualifier he broke the foot peg off his bike and wasn't able to race in day number 2. No matter though, for the FMSQ series he swept it all. There's Patrick in front of me. That means I've made up 20 seconds, so I'm having a really good start to this race, because normally I wouldn't catch Patrick too easily. That would be much later in the race, if at all. So far so good. Things are going well. I'm still moving.
Get it!
I don't know who that was, but that does demonstrate that moving is a relative term. I am moving, and so are they. We are just not moving at the same velocities. But I will see that rider again, because my strategy to always keep moving doesn't mean I'm the fastest in any given moment, but overall I maintain a reasonable pace. Now, reasonable is also a relative term.
It wouldn't be hard if it was just like a routine ride with the boys. you'd be stopping a lot, and then you'd just be hitting the hard section, clear it, and then give yourself a pat on the back. Here you hit the hard section, you don't clear it, just keep going.
Always appreciate the crowds and the cheers. What I was saying earlier, or just a second ago, was that you get over a tough section and then you're still moving. You're not stopping to high five or enjoy watching the rest of the guys struggle up. It is a race after all, and the whole idea is to finish first. I'm still putting a good charge in. I don't know how far into this we are, maybe 20 minutes in actual elapsed time, and things are going to come to a grinding halt in just a second.
Ça s'aide en forêt, mais il n'y avait pas de ligne.
Okay.
Fait que, it's French in this?
English, sorry.
Yeah, there is
There's
people
bottleneck
trying in
there.
the forest, but there was no line, so maybe it will, a line will develop, but I don't know if now it's the right level.
Hey, there's my friend from earlier. I think he's running in the pro class or expert class, and so did DC. So anyway, after waiting for more than a few minutes, I decided to launch myself into the fray, and here it is. Without all the bikes in front of me, I could probably make this line pretty clean. There's a second lap where I do come up. It's a little bit of a struggle, but it's not terrible. But here, with rocks flying at you and eventually some bikes, it does get a bit sketchy. And I think the course marshals decided that in order to keep things moving and also prevent dangerous bikes flying or cartwheeling back down the hill and hitting other riders, they started pulling bikes. But before they get into that, it does become a bit of a spectacle. So I'm going to let the video play out so you can see the full effect of what's going on.
Where are you going, Colin? You going across and over? You going that way?
It's really tough when you can't get any momentum, because that's what you need here. A little bit of playing the clutch in order to get some traction, and then you want to get some momentum so you can get over the rough stuff and the loose stuff. Right now though, you're just getting buried into the stuff that's been dug up by the bike in front of you, so it's a game of inches. Oh, the old XEW is getting hot now. A little runaway engine there. That's normally a diesel kind of thing. I don't know if that's a two-stroke thing, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but the bike was definitely hot. I was super appreciative of this little helping tug here to get me over that rough spot and get me out of the choke point. You can see behind me, just a little glimpse right there. There's a lot of bikes to come up through yet. The deal here is, though, riders can help other riders, course staff can help you, but other people that are spectators cannot help you. It's always better if you can get on the bike and weight that back tire by sitting on it and lighten up the front tire. When you push, you're pushing the front end into the hill, and if there's a rock or anything in front of you, it's acting like a wheel chock and you're just driving the front end down on it. Get back on the bike as quick as you can, get up on that peg, and get some momentum. Pause just up here to kind of let my heart rate settle, but what I should have done was just continued riding a little bit slow, let my heart rate recapture, because what's going to happen is everyone's going to get to the top of that hill and they're going to take a break. That's your time to make some time, get ahead of people and keep moving.
Holy crap.
Here's a little bit of a famous section that most people see in video clips, and it's the rock garden at the top of the mountain. I thought that I would get through this pretty clean, and I do. It's not super technical, but there is a heightened sense of danger here, because if you fall and you fall down the mountain, you're going to fall from a little bit more of a height, and you're not falling on anything soft. These rocks are sharp, and they're pretty big. Just when you think you're getting out of the rock garden, you realize you've got some bad intel. That's just false information. You've got a whole other section to go that's another level. So this is kind of funny. Right here, the guy in the fox shirt, apologies, I've I don't know your name. I heard it once more recently because we ended up riding in Hubli together about a week ago. And funny enough, I ran over a tool pack and almost picked it up, but I had no place to put it because I was wearing my butt pack and not my backpack. And it turned out to be his. Somewhere off to the right here is my wife Kathy and Corey's wife Sharon, and they're going to give a bit of hoot and holler for me. It's always fun when you can bring family on one of these events, and this event was really good for that. It was a long drive up, so you get a bit of a road trip, and this was kind of mostly spectator friendly. At least you knew as a spectator where to go to find the hard spots. Now just up here is Kathleen Tobin, and she's going to try and point me on a line. She intended to race this race, but unfortunately was up a few days earlier riding some of the local area and hurt her knee, or re-injured her knee, so she was out. She wasn't going to be able to race.
Yeah.
Stay left. Okay? Straight down.
Hard to the tape.
Yeah. Left to the tape. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah. Get back on that line.
Now coming uphill on these rocks is one thing. Going downhill, you would think would be a little easier. It's not. It's actually harder. There we go. That was some good intel from Kathleen, and that was a good line. Got me down to the apex here. And now it's on me to get turned and make the next 2 turns and get off these rocks. You stop your snickering there, Lance. Haven't seen Lance yet. I thought I would see him at least once. I thought he would lap me at least once. But you know what? Not many of the pros did end up lapping us. The super fast guys did. But everybody else through Greasy DC or DC was having their struggle fest of their own.
Yeah, I don't know nothing about it.
Oh. Oh. It is rugged.
Really?
Oh.
Alright, if you're a sympathetic barfer, I'm sorry for that barky kind of noise. That's kind of how I was feeling though. You remember what I said, that people tend to want to take a little rest? They feel they've earned it after a tough section. Well, I thought I earned it, and then it took me a minute to say, fuck that, give myself a little talking to, power down some gel here, and get back on the bike and get moving.
I gave myself 2 drinks of water. That's enough. Shut the camera off, and then I realized, no, this is not time for long halt.
To say though, this EN91EX is hooking up. This tire is amazing. I'm running a pretty worn out 140 Moose in it, and initially I did get it to bead, and then I lost the bead, but it was still staying on, and I wasn't spinning it on the one rim lock that I had, but I am going to add a second rim lock. I've edited the video down, you kind of lose sense of how much time's passed. This first lap, because of the bottlenecks that were at DC, which didn't affect us, that was the pros and the experts, but also the bottleneck on that one crap hill, this lap ends up being a little over an hour for almost everyone.
You say that like I'm gonna go flying around for another lap.
The way he said go, I think he thought I was going to light the fires and come burning out of there, and I wasn't going to until right there. That was Al on the right. Well, you can't not put on a show when Al's watching. Alright, that was the end of lap number 1. Let's get into lap number 2 and really just keep it to the highlights because this has been a pretty long video. So here's the hill that everyone got stuck on previously. That was all a big jug fest. I was going to say jug fuck, but I'm trying to keep the swearing down, so I won't say fuck. But anyway, this is the hill that everyone was jammed up on, and it's a bit more smooth sailing, but it's still a bit of a chess game to figure out how you're going to get up through it, because it's chewed up, and there's still a few bikes on it, and you got to pick your lines and try and conserve energy. Lap number 2 is going to be tough. Copping a free field there. I was just trying to push that bike off because what I didn't want him to do was roll backwards and T-bone me and knock me off down the hill. That would have been pretty upsetting. So sorry about grabbing your ass, man, whoever you are. So if you were paying attention, the first time through this hill with all the bikes on it was a little over 5 minutes, and this time is about a minute and change.
Where are you from?
Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
How about you?
Ottawa Valley.
Oh yeah, nice. Used to live up that way.
Hey, there's Corey.
Why
I
did
stopped
you do
here
a
to have a
second?
little chat. At this point, my
figured you'd
triceps
catch me.
are on fire. I've never really had an issue like that before. I didn't even really think it was possible, but my triceps are locked out. In fact, they're vibrating from seizing up with cramps.
Let's go.
That's Mark, aka Baloo, and he works for FMSQ, and because this isn't an FMSQ ride, he gets to race. I met Mark a few years ago when Lance and I were helping build out the course at Crab Mountain, and hard not to like a guy like Mark. Super good guy, excellent rider, hard worker, what's not to like?
Holy fuck. If I had a Midol for my cramps, I'd take it.
It's nice to have friends on the hill. That's Melissa and Stuart of Triple S Cycle, and he sponsors, along with many other sponsors, the beta race team out of the Atlantic provinces. They're up in the corduroy right now. Here I come across Christine, and the two of us are going to have a semi-incoherent conversation.
Oh,
Oh, my arms are fucked.
So what's happened here is the fan was on and drained the battery, and Corey had come along, bump started Christine, but then she whiskey throttled the bike and stalled it again. And then I came along and I wasn't clear, and I don't think she was too clear that the bike actually hit a kickstart, so we were going to try and bump start it again, but anyway, kickstart was much easier. Lap number 2, my final lap, we're done. Looking forward to doing this one again though.
Finish! Very much.
Oh, hey sweetie, that's Kathy there on the right. I am definitely done at this point, but I'm looking forward to coming back again and having another go.
First lap, I was fine through. It was good. I think I pulled 8 minutes on Corey after we got over that hill. It was awesome. I was stuck at the bottom of that. He made it up in the second lap.
Paul Berube was running hard. He was